Yo, good morning. Welcome to another episode of Clangin and Bang with Mikey, episode 44. And what today we're gonna talk about is me, moi. Anyway, a little backstory behind me. As to why I started doing a podcast, as to why I do what I do. Um anyway, let me start off with the fact, why I do a podcast. I started this podcast in the height of the pandemic. Frankly, because I had nothing to do. I had nothing to do, like everybody else, who wasn't deemed essential at that particular time. I had nothing to do, and so most of the time, I was at the crib. Yeah, I was at the crib most days, working out, studying, working on some music, and just doing daily things. Yeah, trying to keep myself busy every day. Um, and But a backstory behind me was, all right, let's get started. So, born and raised in Hawaii, uh, black father, Spanish and Japanese mother. So that's why I look so exotic. As I've been told. Um, I've also been told I'm very cocky slash confident, but that's just somebody's opinion. That's uh, that's what people think of me. That's my reputation to some people. But I've been also told by people who I hold very close to me is that I'm loyal, trustworthy, you know. And I got this saying that even though we're not from the same womb, I got you to the tomb, and it's true. Like a lot of the times, my loyalty may get me burned, you know. And I'm also the type of dude like I'm gonna tell you exactly what you need to hear, regardless if you want to hear it or not. And I think a lot of people misconstrue that for me talking shit when it's really not. I think a lot of people they're so used to hearing how good they are at X, Y, and Z, boom, 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 boom. And now it's like, yo, like, but you can't be good at everything, right? And a lot of people won't highlight their flaws. They just want to highlight what they're successful at. But at the end of the day, if you don't highlight your flaws, then what are you really working on? And I think too, man, a lot of the background with bodybuilding and whatnot too. I'll tell you how I got into that. I got into bodybuilding in high school. I was a fat kid growing up. I didn't really wasn't athletic because of the physical disability, which is cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy affects your fine motor skills, like your speech, your movements, and your gait and everything, right? And it's actually classified as a brain injury because of what the area that that the production is affected either before birth, after birth, or during birth, and they don't know why it happens. It just happens, you know. But yeah, bodybuilding, man. I was never athletic enough to play sports. Even I played sports, you know. I always been a hooper, I remember days where I used to get up, 6 o'clock in the morning, summer, Christmas break, spring break, I'll be out there hooping all day. I'll be out there you know, just doing me. And yeah, and so my weight training came along, and I'm like, yo, like this is a chance for me to level the field. Like this is the chance for me um to actually have people view me not as a dude who walks with a limp, but the dude, who can do the same thing as everybody else. Because it's like one thing with people with physical disabilities, bro, is like we don't want to be treated special. We want to be treated the same, you know. Like we want to be treated the same. We deserve to be treated the same. It's like there's nothing wrong with an individual just because they were born with a disability. And I think there's a lot of stigma behind it where like, even with me, my professional career or the things I have going on, people look at me, they're like, yo, well, you do all that and this and this and that. And you got to do this. I'm like, bro, stop. Because number one, if that was really the case, you know, if I would have let a physical disability stop me, or use that as a crutch, yo, I wouldn't be where I'm at. And a little background behind me too is like those who know me, like really know me, you know, like I said, that quote I got, we may not be from the same womb, but I got you to the tomb, and it's true. I'm very loyal. I don't deal with a lot of motherfuckers who are fugazi. I don't deal with people you know, who lie on other people or who cause drama or who are always around drama. I don't deal with that. And I think a lot of the times, man, it's like when people come at me with their situations or whatnot too, and it's 90% of the time ain't got nothing to do with them, and I'm like, yo, like why are you worried about how so and so is moving? If it's not affecting you, then keep it pushing. And I think a lot of people will look at that because I would tell people straight up like, yo, like this is what it is. I'm never been one to never been one to mince words, never been one to hold back what I feel, and a lot of the times it's gotten me in trouble. It's gotten me in trouble because, and not in a bad way. This like then you got to deal with people's emotions behind that. But at the same time, if you get triggered from what I said, number one, it's most likely the truth, and number two, it's probably something you haven't healed from yet. So how you react to situations, man, is 100% on you. It's not your mama, it's not your daddy, it's not your siblings, it's not your girlfriend, it's not your boyfriend, it's not your husband. Like nobody has an influence over your emotions like you do. And I think for a lot of the times, man, people will sit there and blame other people because it's hard to take accountability for your fuck ups. It's hard to sit there and say, like, yo, I'm the cause of why this happened this way or why this fell out this way. And I think a lot of times, bro, when you're dealing with people like that who don't know how to take accountability for their actions, they in turn end up becoming toxic. They become toxic because they want to sit there and blame everybody else for their, mishaps and whatnot. But another backstory around me, growing up, my parents always stuck me in. I was either the MC for all the school plays or the MC for any type of presentation. So that's why, like, I'm real comfortable behind a camera or in a crowd of people and whatnot. It's like, you know, and as a kid, I was always funny. I was always quick witted and everything too. And so and and with that, it just kind of grew into different things. When I was in college, I started making music, and as you guys can see from the setup behind me, there's a studio monitor. I got my Dodge set up and everything, and the booth too. So I'm always doing something creativity. I'm always thinking of something. Hell, I'll be driving to work and I'll think of rhymes in my head, and I'll remember them, write them down, and then try to fit them into a song and whatnot. But I think, uh, yeah, man, the backstory behind me is that I don't. I'm the type of dude who is hella cool, but I'm also that nigga that can actually, I can get buck too, or I can get not out of pocket, but I can match the energy in the room too if I wanted to. And I think about a lot of times, man. Like I said before, when situations like that arise, it has nothing to do with your ass. So you just got to keep it moving, keep it pushing, because at the end of the day, only person who's in charge of your emotions is you. And so I think I think it's important to realize that, man. And I think I wanted to do this episode because I've been doing this for about give or take about a year and a half, almost 2 years, and off and on. But I've been more consistent with it because I've realized that it's helped a lot of people, or people who have checked out my podcast, or or who just want to listen to me talk. You know what I mean? It's because a lot of the times, man, I don't do this for validation or whatever it is, because I do it because I think there's a lot of people out there who need to hear a different perspective of certain things. Is that, um, and I think no, well, not that I think I know that there's people out there who's watched his content and be like, okay, yeah, like this makes complete sense. And the last thing I'm gonna touch on, man, is gratitude. Um, as you guys know, I'm a competitive bodybuilder. My second show is coming up in about 3 weeks, and so we're just wrapping everything up that way. And the one thing I gotta work on, man, I've been really short with people. I've been really not my normal self because of the diet and because of everything else I got going on. It's like I gotta take some time and recalibrate, and I have to get better because the people I love and I care about, they deserve that from me. And I think when you have the ability to be self accountable and realize that how you treat people affects them in many ways that you don't even know. You know, and I think that's something I gotta, not think. I know it's something that I have to work on. I have to work on it, be better. I have to work on it and become better. So, you know, I think self accountability and gratitude, man, go hand in hand. Anyway, y'all, this would be about 11 and a half minutes of your life that you won't get back. Hope y'all keeping it 4 P's. Private player, positive pushing. I'll see y'all next week. Love.